Hey guys, this is John Howell with Apostolic Singles Network. Just wanted to spend a few moments with you, welcome you to the website. And, I just wanted to spend a few minutes today to tell you the story about ASN, how I got started, what the ministry is about. You know, you come to it, you sign up for this website. Your intent was probably just, to see who's online and talk with some other singles. And, for me, ASN has been a ministry all along. When I first started ASN back in 2004. Prior to that, I had my own desires. I was a singles leader in my church, and I was having difficulty finding that soulmate, if you will, quote unquote soulmate. And I had spent a number of years prior, dating and you know how you do, but never found that right one that we clicked and I knew would be a companion for me and that we uh, fit together and it would work, And I started praying, God, help prepare me for the woman of my dreams, and I pray that your hand of protection would be on her because I knew that she was alive somewhere on the planet. I just needed to figure out a way to meet her. Um, that early time in my life, I wasn't really a web developer. I had spent some time, I was in the Air Force and had spent some time, helping with their unit um, website, doing some things like that, but really nothing to the scale of what ASN is today. And so I had tried some Yahoo and Match, and I had some dates, but the ladies weren't apostolic, and that just wasn't going to work for me. So I tried to find an alternative. I'd gone to the singles events, and I think there were some apostolic chat rooms back then. There may be still now, but those weren't. I wasn't having any success there. So I felt like God had put it on my heart with the limited skills that I have that He would bless, and that I could start Apostolic Singles Network. A social network prior to the term social network ever being coined. God put it in my heart to do that. And the vision was to bring apostolic singles together. As a singles leader, I thought, well, if we could get a community of folks together, the singles leaders could network. And if there's an event somewhere, because one of the challenges that, I was coming from a small church was, you put something together and you want folks to come, you try to think about something that everyone would enjoy doing. And, invariably someone doesn't want to do this or someone doesn't do that. And then, if you're from a smaller church, then your turnout is, going to be kind of low. And if you're a singles leader, you may know exactly what I'm speaking about. So I thought, well, gosh, let's try to network other singles leaders together. And let's see if the information is out there, maybe we can have some more success. And I also wanted there to be an ability, to communicate with other singles, and if there's an interest there, you can email back and forth or chat, and let's see where the relationship takes us. So that's how ASN was born. And there's a website you can go to. I believe it's called. You can just do a Google search for like wayback.com or something like that, or it's a web archive, and you can go back, and if you're interested, obviously I do it because I'm a tech geek, and so you can go back. You can actually see that we started 2004 July, and see what the website looked like back then, and see how far we've come. We continue to try to do updates to make your experience on ASN better. So that's kind of why, well, that is why we started ASN. And, my success with ASN has been that I met the most amazing woman in my life, Kristen. And she is, if you've had the privilege of meeting her, you know what I'm talking about. God really did bless me with her. And if I created ASN only to meet her, then it was absolutely worth it. So, sorry, I get a little, anyway. And we've got two beautiful babies that God has blessed us with, and so thankful for that. Anyway, ASN has blessed a lot of lives. In fact, this week we just sent our my sister-in-law, Kristen's sister, off to Indiana. She met Dean on ASN, and we will miss her greatly, but we're happy for her and happy for Dean as well. So anyway, that's what ASN is about, connecting singles from all over the world. You know, I get emails from time to time that say, well, I can't, ASN is not a Match, it's not a eHarmony, it's not a Yahoo, it's not Facebook, it's Apostolic Singles Network. It's a small community of apostolic singles that, that are dedicated to finding someone that they're equally yoked with. Do we get some folks on ASN from time to time that maybe don't see the truth like we do? Yes, we do. But you guys are smart enough to know that, and I hope you do your, you pray about any relationship that you enter into before you get involved too heavily, and I would encourage you never to get emotionally involved before you meet somebody for a little while, because oftentimes that's where the heart gets involved prior to actually meeting someone, because it's not that you're intentionally doing it, it's because your heart is hopeful. And everyone wants to find someone that they can care about. And we come to a relationship always with an expectancy. We always see the positive. No one can tell us any different, And while obviously I don't want to encourage you to look at the negative in relationships, you have to be wise and use your judgment. Always counsel with your pastor. And online dating is not for everyone. And I'll talk more about that in some follow-up videos. But anyway, so what I do want to start doing, and this is my office here in the background. This is where I work. Over here to my left, I've got this new board that I built. It's a whiteboard, and I had to put some framing around it so Kristen wouldn't be mad at me. So I'm very excited to start doing some of the tips and things like that. I've got this book that I'm reading, and things I wish I'd known before I got married. Kristen is an amazing woman, and she would probably tell you that I'm a halfway decent guy. But, I'd never been married before, and there's challenges. So it would be kind of cool to know, I don't know where you probably get that. I don't remember where I got this. I probably picked it up at Barnes and Nobles or something. But things I wish I'd known before we got married. And the chapter that I'm reading now is like mother, like daughter, and like father, like son is not a myth. So that title of that chapter really says it all. And so when you're out there, take an opportunity if you can. Kristen couldn't meet my mother; she had passed away prior to us meeting. But take the time if you can meet the parents, and chances are what you see there in the parents are what you're going to see in the child. And it's just that's the way it goes, positive and negative. So anyway. I'd like to start going over some of those things, and I have a bunch of books that I've read, and it's always been in my heart to try to do some teaching on that. And you may or may not want to hear about it, and that's fine. But there will be some that will, and that could use the tips. Like, for example, I had a guy email me, and I believe I put a blog post on this, where he was just like, how do I find that person? And and I was a little bit curious about that as well. How do you know who it is that you really want to spend the rest of your life with? Well, what I did is I took time and I wrote down, and I just brainstormed. You guys have brainstormed before. And I just took a pen, I took a piece of paper, and I wrote down everything that I want or that I desired in my mate. And then I went through, and I just wrote down everything I could possibly think of. Then I went through and I started identifying those things that they absolutely must have. For example, they must live for God. They must be apostolic, and some other preferences that I had. Anyway, so then I narrowed down my list, and so that broke my list down of all the things I'd like in my companion, and broke it down to, if they don't have this, then it's an absolute no-go. So, and each list obviously is different for everyone. And once I did that, it gave me a real clear picture on when I'm talking with someone, I could measure them against my list, because I'd already made a decision that I prayed about. This is what I absolutely have. And all the other things are nice twos, like, the color of the hair, the color of the eyes. Those things, really didn't matter to me. I would like blue eyes, and brown hair was kind of what personally I was attracted to. And, well, Kristen's got blue hair, and she's got, I'm sorry, I think I said blue hair, but she has blue eyes and brown hair. And I am, that was a plus. If she had blonde hair and brown eyes, I would have been fine with that too, because she met all of the other things that are a must-have, and I was okay with the other things. So anyway, God has a way of blessing us once we get clear on what it is, and we pray about it and seek Him. So anyway, once I did that, then I had to ask a critical question: am I the person that would attract who I'm looking for? And do I have a strong walk with God? Do I have, am I self-motivated? The things that I knew that a person like I was looking for would be attracted to. And if I wasn't, then I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. It was nice to have friends, but I wouldn't be ready to be in a relationship. Well, I did some soul searching, and if there was areas of deficit that I needed to work on, then I started working on that. Well, then I also started praying for Kristen. I didn't know who she was at the time, but I started, when in my prayer time, I would pray, Lord, bless my wife and keep her today. And that brought me a closeness, not only with, spending time with God, but it gave me a peace, because, at that time of 31, 32 years old, single, not married, wondering why it was taking so long, questioning, is this ever going to happen? And that gave me a peace. I was like, okay, they gave me peace. It gave me hope. And I knew that she was somewhere. I just needed to find her. And, and I did. So anyway, that is, that's a little bit what I wanted to talk to you about. Let's see. I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. I don't want to, extend this out too long and lose you. So thank you so much for your attention. And I'll look forward to putting more of these videos out, doing some training, using my new whiteboard over here. I'm getting confused because that's the wall and there's the whiteboard, but it's backwards on my monitor. So I'm going to get used to all of this, and I'll, in 6 months to 10 years, I'll be an expert. So bear with me. I'm not a professional. I'm just a regular guy trying to help out some folks, and I hope you're blessed. And send me an email. Let me know any topics you'd like me to talk on. I'll start doing the research here. I've done a lot already, and look forward to connecting with you guys. Look me up on Facebook and connect with me there. And anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you. Take care, and God bless.